The jungle had this creepy way of swallowing every sound, like it was hungry for silence. Even my own breathing felt too loud. I'd been walking for 5 days straight, 40 years old, stubborn as hell, and determined to go somewhere the map basically gives up. Right beside me padded Milo, my golden retriever, loyal, warm, steady. The kind of dog who feels like a second heartbeat. That night, we camped under trees tall as skyscrapers. The sky turned pitch black, stitched shut with thick clouds. I lit a fire because the kind of cold that lives under a jungle canopy doesn't feel natural. It sneaks under your skin and whispers things you don't wanna hear. Then something moved at the edge of the firelight. A shape stepped forward, a wolf. The color of old moonlight. Eyes like polished silver coins. It didn't make a single sound. No leaves. No twigs. It just appeared. Milo's hackles shot up. His growl broke the silence like he was challenging the whole jungle. My hand went to my rifle, not out of courage. Just habit. The wolf looked at me. Then at Milo. And suddenly, the entire rainforest felt like it was holding its breath. Before we go on, if you're watching this, drop your city in the comments. Hit subscribe if you want more stories like this. Alright, back to the jungle. We'd pitched our tent near a slow river that smelled like whetstone. Midnight crept in, the fire sank low, and I stepped outside to warm my hands. Milo sat beside me, staring into the dark like he heard something I couldn't. Then it came soft steps. Sand shifting. Something moving with purpose. The wolf stepped out again. Close enough that I could see long scars carved across its flank. Ribs showing. Those strange eyes locked on me like it was reading a secret I didn't know I had. Milo launched. No hesitation. No fear, just pure loyalty. He slammed into the wolf with all his weight. Leaves exploded. Teeth flashed. Snarls ripped through the night like they didn't belong in this world. I fired once. The gunshot tore the darkness apart, but the wolf barely flinched. Milo fought like family. Like guardian, brother, father, all in one heartbeat. The wolf's jaws clamped around his muzzle, and in that split second, I saw hospital lights and an empty leash hanging on my wall. I screamed Milo's name and rushed in, smashing the rifle butt into the wolf's shoulder. The wolf staggered back, then looked at me, and I swear, for one impossible breath, there were words sitting behind those eyes. Milo didn't retreat. He surged forward, furious, golden, unstoppable. Then the wolf lunged and knocked him into the shallow river. Water splashed silver. Milo scrambled up, bleeding but still on his feet. And then, the strangest thing, the wolf didn't chase. It sat, watching us, studying us. It tilted its head, not like an animal, but like someone remembering something painful. Then it lifted a paw and made a slow gesture in the air, a gesture that felt like goodbye. And then it vanished into the trees. I ran into the river, pulled Milo out. His wound pulsed under my fingers, not like a normal heartbeat. Something else was moving beneath the skin. Something that didn't belong. I stitched him up, bandaged him, kept pressure on every trembling breath he took. The jungle around us slowly came back. Frogs, insects, distant cries. But everything felt wrong, like a door had opened somewhere. And something old was awake. Hours passed. Milo slept, twitching with dreams. When dawn finally pushed through the leaves, I followed the wolf's tracks. They led to a shallow pit carved into the clay, filled with bones that were not human and not fully animal. In the center lay a small leather bundle tied with a strip of faded fabric. Inside was a fragment of a dog collar, not Milo's, older, smaller, weathered by decades of rain and time. Letters had been carved into the leather, worn smooth, but still there. I traced them and froze. It was a name from my grandfather's stories. A name tied to a boat that vanished generations ago, along with a dog that was never found. I turned around slowly. The wolf was standing at the tree line. Milo limped to me and pressed against my leg. The wolf's eyes weren't threatening now. They were ancient, tired. Searching. Then it made a sound, not a howl, not a growl, but a long, low call that felt like someone calling across an ocean. And in that moment, I understood. The wolf hadn't come to hunt. It had come to remember. To find something it lost long ago. To see if the past was still walking this earth. And Milo had answered the wolf's question the only way a loyal dog ever could, by standing Between me and danger, the wolf faded back into the jungle. But the echo of that call stayed with me long after it disappeared. We broke camp at noon. I kept that tiny collar fragment in my pocket, heavy with a meaning I still can't explain. When the jungle finally spat us out onto a logging road, I looked back one last time. A single silhouette stood on the ridge. The wolf, watching like a god carved from shadow. And then it vanished. Milo licked my hand. He was alive, for now. That was enough.